news opinion columnists, Donald Trump's administration is continuing to treat the UK as a member of the EU for the purpose of sanctions in the Airbus trade dispute and is about to extend its list of goods subject to prohibitive tariffs, writes Brian Wilson. Saturday, 25th of July 2020, 7:30 a.m. with friends like Donald Trump. Does Boris Johnson's Brexit Britain really need enemies? Picture, Saul Loeb. AFP/Getty Images. Acting as faithful follower of American foreign policy has always carried risks as well as rewards. The UK government would do well to remember that historic truth before digging itself deeper into hostilities with China, in line with the current American way. Sign up to our daily newsletter. The iNewsletter cut through the noise. There was no shortage of reasons offered for pulling the plug on Huawei, and the UK security initially topped the bill, followed by Hong Kong and alleged human rights violations against the Uyghurs. None of these is new, and the general rule of international trade is that noses must be held if the show is to go on. Diplomacy rather than trade is the avenue for influencing errant states. Read more. US tariffs causing more damage to Scott's whiskey industry than COVID-19. Ethical foreign policy is a noble concept but endlessly difficult to pursue consistently, which is why it makes sense to separate it from trade, except in extreme circumstances. The contention that these exist would have been more convincing if President Trump had not promptly informed the world that the UK ditched Huawei because he told them to, which is probably the truth of the matter. One of the problems with pleading high-mindedness is that once started, there is no logical point to stop. If China is so awful, do we really want their students? Do we want them to control 25% of the North Sea? Do we want them funding our infrastructure? It is not as if China lacks options. They also have a fair grasp of their own history, which does not necessarily predispose them to regard the UK as a font of virtue and righteousness, entitled to lecture them on how to conduct their affairs. Presumably someone in Whitehall has noticed that Beijing is hoovering up soft power around the world with its astonishing Silk Road initiative, which involves trillions of investment in scores of countries. The Silk Road is not a geographically limiting term but flows from the concept of China as the world's first global trader, regardless of oceans and borders. Via the Silk Road, it is seeking to regain that status from Africa to Latin America. Do they really need the UK that much? A bellicose trade war with China in election year may be just what President Trump needs. It is less clear, as we walk away from the EU and reel from the COVID-19 aftermath, that it is what the UK needs, and what of the United States, on which we seem to be placing all available bets. It should not go unnoticed that, in the real world, our great ally across the water is currently waging a trade war against us, not for us. Though we are outside the EU, Washington continues to behave as if we are inside for the purpose of sanctions arising from the Airbus dispute. The World Trade Organization authorized punitive U.S. tariffs on random products in retaliation for illegal subsidies paid by Brussels. Products targeted for prohibitive tariffs already include malt whiskey, cashmere knitwear and shortbread. There is suspicion this selection reflects Trump's animus towards Scotland in light of the great fallout which followed the Great Love-In. I know from personal experience, remember the Banana Wars? That none of these things happen by accident. Matters may be about to get much worse. By the 12th of August, the US will decide on an extension of the list, which may include blended whiskey and gin. Not everybody knows this, but 80% of UK gin is now made in Scotland. If this happens, it is reckoned that 6,500 jobs are at risk. It is surely time for the UK government to call in whatever chips it holds in Washington to point out it's not a good look to be attacked by your greatest ally at the same time as turning your back on past friends, the EU, and valuable partners, China. Conversely, sorting this one out would be a decent advert, not least in Scotland, for taking back control. Failure to do so by the 12th of August will reinforce the alternative thought that with Trump as your best friend in the world, who needs enemies? A message from the editor. Thank you for reading this article on our website. While I have your attention, I also have an important request to make of you. The coronavirus lockdown having a major impact on many of our advertisers, and consequently the revenue we receive. We are more reliant than ever on you taking out a digital subscription. Subscribe to Scotsman.com and enjoy unlimited access to Scottish news and information online and on our app. With a digital subscription, you can read more than 5 articles, see fewer ads, enjoy faster load times, and get access to exclusive newsletters and content. Visit www.scotsman.com/subscriptions now to sign up. Our journalism costs money and we rely on advertising, print and digital revenues to help to support them. By supporting us, we are able to support you in providing trusted, fact-checked content for this website. Editorial Director. Let's block ads. Why?
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.